So I think it's fair to say that it's been a minute since we had a look at things in England. And you can tell it's been a minute because the vehicles here are still, well, they're quite old. They're very old, 60-something years old, in fact. That's how old a lot of these trucks are. Meanwhile, Ireland is doing just fine. Well, within reason. We're also starting to see some traffic problems in and around different parts of England because we're still using, you know, century-old infrastructure with 60-plus-year-old vehicles that are slower than most of the other vehicles on the road. It's just a recipe for disaster around here. And just in case you're wondering where around here happens to be, it's this road that connects Liverpool and Manchester down towards Birmingham and Shrewsbury. So I want to upgrade the vehicles, I want to upgrade these roads, and I want to set up some public transport that connects Birmingham to Liverpool and Manchester. We do have some trains already doing that. I do think HS1 could do with an upgrade, but I'd also like to get some loops going around Shrewsbury, and I'd like to expand the Oxford loop just a little bit, maybe the Reading loop as well, get one into Bristol, Cardiff, maybe even Swansea down here. And I want to do the same thing with Bournemouth, and then I want to come down towards Plymouth and Exeter because I realized that a town like Plymouth happens to want machines, right? They want machines. We have a machine factory right here. It needs steel and planks. We have a steel mill right here. It needs coal and iron. We have coal right here by Bristol, and we have iron right here by Bristol as well. So we can bring those down to make the steel, which can go over to the machines factory. This guy also happens to want planks. Well, we have a forest up here by Exeter. We're already using the Brighton sawmill, which has room to upgrade further. So we can set up a bunch of lines that go through Bournemouth, through Exeter, down, well, over to the sawmill. We can just do a lot of things down here to give machines to Plymouth and also to Bournemouth itself. And we have to keep in mind, we're making tools all the way over here in Brighton Holt. Well, it just so happens that places like Bournemouth and places like Exeter and places like Plymouth also happen to want tools. So there's some production lines we can set up and establish down here. There is a lot of traffic to figure out first, so that's kind of where I want to get started. I'm not saying I'm going to solve traffic because it's me, and I'm probably not, but I'm going to try. So first things first, I want to go in here and basically replace all of the old trucks that we are running on some of these lines. This truck specifically is a grand total of 63 years old. So I think it makes sense that we maybe do something about that. So we'll start with the Birmingham Machines City line. That's what we're working with here. We have 15 vehicles. We have a rate of 83 right now. So if we go and swap these out for the MAN 19.304 tarpaulin trucks, it's about 6 million to do that. The rate doesn't increase by much because these guys are largely stuck in traffic. So for the most part, while we are upgrading the capacity per vehicle and per line, the rates are not going to shoot for the sky, the stars, whatever, because of the traffic problems that we'll fix well, hopefully fix. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Hopefully fix in just a little bit. Now, what I'm thinking I'd like to do in here is just increase the capacity of some of these roads. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So we're going to be going for the usual mix of country roads. We have this guy with, it's called an asphalt 4-lane country road, but it is apparently a 6-lane country road, which is fine. This road is going to get upgraded to have a few more lanes. This one down here is going to get 4 lanes, and then this one is already pretty good. This one could probably do with a bit of an upgrade as well, although it looks like it's going to have some bridge issues. So I think this road can maybe go away, and then maybe I can upgrade you now. Apparently not. That is a little bit unfortunate, actually. I was really hoping I could just get that entire road upgraded. So what we'll do is upgrade to about that spot. We'll upgrade in here as well. And then I'm hoping I can get away with a little something to connect these guys together. I have my doubts, but yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Does this look okay? Not really. I don't know that I love that. I think this is probably about as good as we're going to get. This little house down here is not in a great spot. That I think looks a bit silly. So I think we'll stick with this guy and we'll just go ahead and build that. And that gives us something pretty decent. I think we'll take that house out, or factory or warehouse or whatever it was. And I think I'm going to hit this with a smoothing brush just to try and tidy up some of that. It's really not great looking, but let's be honest, we're probably never going to look at it all that closely. So that'll be just fine. Now this road right here I think we should bring back a little bit. And I think we should upgrade pretty much that entire thing as well. And I want to bring it sort of straight from here to here, because I would like to do some upgrades to this little guy as well. Now, I don't think we're going to go for a country road on this. I think we can stick with a regular 2-lane road. So something like this. And I just want to bring it essentially straight through here. We'll take out this part, we'll take out this part, and then rebuild it so we get a nice even slope right there. And then my thinking was I'd connect it up this way. So we'd bring this down a little bit. We can curve around a little bit, which I think that looks okay. Take out this extra part, and now you have multiple ways to get into Manchester from this stretch of road, which I think is probably fair enough. We might even want to upgrade some of these roads now that I look at it. So maybe it would be better to go for a 4-lane road, at least to this part. Maybe a little bit further, maybe going up to about here and here would be a good idea. And maybe even this guy could be upgraded, sort of cutting right through towards that main road, since I'd imagine that's where a fair bit of the traffic's going to go. Now, this guy unfortunately can't be upgraded because of the oil, that is an oil well right here. So there's not too much we can do about that. We could make a one-way system. That would be an option. I wouldn't be against doing that, because I think what I could do potentially is upgrade this road. And then I think we go in and I think we maybe do, I want to say 2 lanes coming all the way down here. I think that'll be fine. We do need to flip these guys around because they're heading towards this road here. And then maybe this road comes out. And then maybe we just build ourselves a little something that goes here. And we'll upgrade this entire road right here to also have that sort of one-way thing going on. And then maybe we can also go in and upgrade this road here. I had a feeling it was going to do that. I was really hoping for some more lanes on that one, but I guess that's not going to be a thing. Can I go asymmetrical? We don't have the room for that either. Okay, this bridge needs to go for a second, because I do need a bigger road in here. So we're going to do this, which I think gives us a little bit more control. And then hopefully I can go over this with some kind of bridge. Is that going to be an option? I had a feeling it wasn't going to be. I had a feeling. Okay, that's not ideal. And there we go. This looks all right. I don't love getting rid of the old sort of classic bridge that we had here, but I think that's probably about all we can do. I also don't love some of what's going on with the roads in here. Like, this is absolute chaos that I think we can maybe do something about. I think all of this can sort of go away. I want to say this. I like that little curvy road. I think it's kind of cool, but I think it needs to go as well. This is all going to get, well, this is going to get upgraded at the very least. And I think what I'm going to do is just put a road through here so that we can sort of maintain some of the buildings in this space. And then maybe a little road that just connects over here. And then if I go in and say that I own some sections of this road, it'll stop things from connecting to it in a way that's maybe a little bit too silly for what I want to do in here. And I think this one as well, especially, is going to need a little bit of something. I think these guys down here are totally fine. This road's probably fine. This guy could probably go as well. I think that's reasonable to make sure that traffic is going to flow around here. And we'll see what that does. I'm not expecting miracles out of this, but I do think that, and you know, a couple of extra connections are probably not going to hurt. A little bit of one-way traffic's probably not going to hurt. This is probably going to have to be one-way as well, though, now that I think about it. So let's get you upgraded to a one-way road going that way so that we have traffic all sort of filtering around really nicely. Can you have 3 lanes? You totally can. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit better, I think. Having 3 lanes right there. This also connects down towards Liverpool, which might not be ideal, but that's probably fine. Should this have 3 lanes? Does it need 3 lanes? I don't know if it needs it, but I think I'm going to give it 3 lanes. And I think I'm going to do that for a lot of these guys, just because I can. So when it comes to the rest of the traffic down here, I think ultimately what we might need are some more lanes in here. Now, most of this traffic is turning towards Liverpool and Manchester, but some of it is turning down towards Birmingham and Shrewsbury. Not a lot of traffic is going onto, well, some of them are, but not a lot of them are heading out that way. So I think the best thing we could do is just play with some asymmetry here and go in with some roads that are going to give us a few more turning lanes onto the larger road while keeping a smaller number of lanes coming through here. So we'll give them 2 lanes going back to about, I want to say about that far is probably going to be all right. I doubt there's that much traffic taking a left turn here, but giving them the option just sort of seems like the right thing to do. If this fails, then either an interchange or a roundabout is going to be needed. And speaking of roundabouts, that's kind of what I want to build here, right between Shrewsbury and Birmingham. I think a roundabout in the middle connecting them to Birmingham and Liverpool and Manchester could be a pretty solid idea. So we're going to take this back. We're going to take this back as well. And we're going to go all the way back to about there. This road is honestly probably fine where it is. I'm going to go back a little bit with this one just to make sure that we're good. And then what I'd like to do is hit this all with a good old flattening brush right about here, just to make sure that the land is nice and flat for the roundabout itself. And then I think to keep this simple, we're going to come out here. We're going to go out about here. We'll get ourselves some street construction, which, by the way, I found some stuff in the Steam Workshop that gives me some other options for interchanges that I'm very excited to play with, but that may or may not be a today thing. Haven't really decided. I think the roundabout itself, though, is going to live right about there. We'll take out these extra parts that we don't really need. And then very simply, we are going to, I guess, run a road through the middle so that I can connect perfectly to that intersection right about there. And I actually think I'm going to bring this all back and hit that with a slightly wider curve, just because I think it looks a little bit better. And then over on this side of things, can I just do this? I totally can just do that. And I don't mind that at all. It's nice and gradual. It does its thing. It is going to be upgraded to a slightly wider road with more lanes, as is this one right here. But that seems like it should be fine. I think we can hit that with a smoothing brush just to hide our crimes a little bit. And then hopefully, once we get this swapped out for, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have this guy, we have this road that has the 124 mile per hour speed limit. I think I'm going to continue to avoid that one. I did find, by the way, some mods that give you 4-lane highways, which I did test a little bit. Actually, on this specific intersection, I tested it. It does help and it does work, but it felt a little, I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to go that far and get like 4-lane highways just yet. Maybe if things continue to, get worse, we will. But I think for now, we're probably okay. What I would like to do though, is I want to go in here and I want to put just a little cut into this road. And I want to go right to about there is what I want to do. And I want to bring this road all the way back to, let's see, this road actually is where I want to go. So we're going to bring it to about this spot. We're going to put a cut into this road and take it back a little bit as well. And then I would like to just curve around like this, because I'm going to sort of create a ring road around Birmingham. So any traffic coming off of this road up here can just cut across the top of Birmingham without having to go through Birmingham, which is what some of the traffic is doing right now. So this just tidies things up. It makes things a little bit easier for Birmingham itself. And I think that's probably fair enough to do. So what we'll do is upgrade all of this, and we're going to upgrade all of this road as well. Obviously a lot of buildings getting moved there, but it should keep us in a pretty good spot. And I think I'm going to say that I own this road. I own this road. And I own all of this as well. I don't want too much building off of this right now, because I think that would be a really, really bad thing to do. So we can still build, or rather Birmingham can still build in all of this space. It just can't connect to my road, which I'm kind of wanting to be a road that people use to get around Birmingham. So hopefully that works out. We do have a lot of traffic trying to get to this roundabout, and that's kind of to be expected because there's a lot of traffic trying to get from Shrewsbury to Birmingham and vice versa. So while we're here, why don't we look at connecting some back roads between these places? Because this is another thing I want to experiment a little bit with in Transport Fever, is the idea of having these little back roads that you can use to get from A to B. You don't have to get onto the main sort of dual carriageways or motorways or whatever you want to call them. You can just take a little back road. That's a thing. It happens. So I figure we're going to try it is what we're going to do. And I think I'm going to turn on contour lines so I can see what kind of mess I'm making here. I think we want to go this way and then sort of follow this around a little bit. And that can link up to probably one of these roads. Maybe even this road would be a good one to link up to. So we'll sort of come down here. In fact, we'll just go in a nice straight line for a little bit because we're dealing with some relatively flat terrain. And then it's going to go pretty steep up to this guy. But it links up perfectly, which is great. It would be nice to connect to this road as well, but I think it'll be better to connect to that sort of corner right there. So we'll bring this out. We'll sort of go around this contour right here as best we possibly can. That's a pretty good turn right there. And then I want to bring this down so it links up maybe about there. I don't know that I love that road, but I think it's necessary. Just as another option, you know, just as another way to get in there. And I think that's going to be important. What we can also do is give it some turning lanes. We'll give this road some turning lanes as well, just so that traffic has a few options with where they might want to go. And we'll just hope for the best with this entire thing is basically what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and hide some crimes again and hope that some traffic between Shrewsbury and Birmingham opts to use this road instead of the main road. So now I want to come down to Cardiff and Bristol because they both have demand for something that we're going to be looking to make, or, well, something we're already making, but we're going to bring up here hopefully in the near future. Cardiff wants tools, which we're making. Bristol wants machines, which we are making, but not nearby. So we're going to start making them nearby. I would like to connect these places together, and I'd also like to connect them to the existing road infrastructure up this way. So what we're going to do with Cardiff is we're going to go in and take out this sort of central road right here, which is a pretty major bit of demolition for old Cardiff, which is a bit of a shame, but it's necessary is what it is. So all of that's coming out because what I would like to do, I'm going to take this out as well, and I'm going to take all of this out. I don't love doing this, but my thought process here is relatively simple. We're probably going to have a pretty major road going through Cardiff to get over to Swansea. And so what I'd like to do is just put a relatively straightforward road through here. I want to upgrade this guy, and take out a bit of this connection just to tidy it up as well, so that traffic going into Cardiff or even through Cardiff isn't going to have the worst time in the world trying to do so. So something like this should be totally fine. This now cuts through Cardiff, and this road is going to go. This road is all going to go. And I want to connect it to a road that's going to go out that way is my thinking. So a little bit of that can go away. We can connect it with a regular town road. So this one around like this should be fine. And this is going to head up towards Shrewsbury and Birmingham and connect to our main road network. This road down here, on the other hand, is going to turn into a regular little country road, but it's just sort of going to follow the water a little bit. And this is going to be our connection, or at least one of our connections over towards Bristol. So we're going to want to go. Do I want to do this in sections? Actually, it might be a little bit easier to just get a nice little straight section of road right there, a nice little straight section of road right about there. And then hopefully I can just do something like this and something like this to connect those together. We will smooth out the terrain ever so slightly. What we can come up like this, so we can come around like this, and then this will give us a nice little connection into Bristol, which I think is going to be good. It does mean that this road will probably need upgraded, but that's all right. I think for now, we'll just run this guy straight out. We'll run this guy straight up to here and maybe just do that again. So it's hopefully a little bit neater. I don't know if that made any difference, but I think it looks fine. That is a connection we didn't have before though, which is all right by me. And you know, I think I'm also going to go back into Cardiff here, and I think I'm going to put some connections in like this. Now this is going to make this road, some of the hills on this are rough looking. They're definitely going to be rough looking, but I want to put these connections in so that hopefully I can make this road just mine. And that's so steep. That is so ridiculous. But I'm hoping I can set this to my road so that the game doesn't get weird and start doing silly things with this road. Now that wants to be a tunnel. That is surprising. Can I elevate that so it doesn't want to be a tunnel? I somehow don't think so. Can I connect to this at all? I actually can, which is fine. We'll use a straight section of road for this. And can I go to here? I actually can, which is fine. It's very steep. I'm not doing that. That's a little bit silly. I think this will be fine. I don't think we want too many connections to this road because it is probably going to have a lot of traffic going through. So we'll do something like this for now. And obviously when Cardiff grows a little bit again after my destruction, we're probably going to run into some problems because most likely there's going to be way too much traffic going through. But for now, it's fine. Anyway, when it comes to this road coming out of Cardiff and this road coming out of Bristol, I do want to connect this oil well and this refinery just in case we ever happen to need them. And I would like to see... I have my doubts that connecting to this country road is going to be a good idea because I don't really want to do another roundabout to make that connection. So I'm debating whether or not we just sort of go straight through. Ooh, do I want a tunnel here? I do like a good tunnel. I do like a good tunnel. I'm debating whether or not I want to go over this road, under this road, through this road. I think for now we will just connect to it because we'll see what happens. And if it becomes a problem, I mean, it is supposed to be just sort of a back road. So having that connection might not be the best thing in the world. Again, if it becomes a problem, we'll just go ahead and, I don't know, go under it. We'll go over it. It doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out. As for all of this, I want to cut down through these contour lines just a little bit. And then I want to start turning sort of towards Cardiff just a little bit. We'll go for a nice straight road through here since the terrain is nice and even. This is actually towards Bristol. My bad. That's fine. we can connect to both is what we can do. And that is what we're going to be doing. So we'll have this guy look like this. We can get a regular town road for Bristol, which is going to have this road upgraded like so. And I suppose we should upgrade all of this road while we're here, just to make sure everything is okay. I don't love what's going on there, so we'll just upgrade it all at once, and that seems to be fine. This road probably doesn't need upgraded. I don't imagine it's going to be super busy. And then I suppose what we'll do is just bring, let's see, this road is going to go, I think, through here, just sort of in that general direction. So if I get myself some road in that area, I want to go here, just sort of up this hill a little bit, should be fine. And then I think the connection for all of this is going to be like here. Now it could be a roundabout. That would be an option. I don't know that it's going to be necessary because we don't really know how much traffic's going to be coming through here just yet. So we'll just do a straight connection like that. This guy, I want to say, is going to... Can I just do like a nice bend here? I don't think I'm going to get that option, unfortunately. Let's see. If I bring you down like this, no. I can get it to go parallel really nicely, which is kind of cool. If I bring this back and bring it over, does that tidy it up? It actually does. And as much as I could make that a more perfect looking road, roads sometimes aren't perfect. And I think this looks kind of neat. I'll put some forests around it. We'll make it look like it'd be a fun road to drive on. And I'm also debating whether or not I would even need 4 lanes on this entire thing. I do sort of have my doubts. Although in saying that, is this now like the major... Yeah, this is the only road into Wales right now. I don't think Shrewsbury's in Wales. I'm pretty sure it's not in Wales. This is the only road. It might be. I don't know. I don't know Wales all that well, but this is the only road into Wales. So this, yeah, this might need 4 lanes. We'll see what happens. Either way, that is a connection that we now have, that I'm kind of excited about. We do have connections from Bristol to Bournemouth and Exeter and onwards to Plymouth. I think what I'd like to do before we start looking at all that industry, though, is I'd like to turn my attention to getting some better loops around Birmingham, to getting some loops around Shrewsbury, Bristol, and Cardiff, expanding the Oxford loop as well. And then I also want to connect those places together by bus before we do the industry stuff. So very quickly, we're going to start with Shrewsbury, and we're going to put a little bus station, say, here, because it's relatively close to this little back road, which might be what I use to connect the bus lines that we have between Birmingham and Shrewsbury. That way we avoid the busier roundabout. And then for the rest of it, I think we might just do a more typical loop around here. I don't think we need to go sort of out in one direction and out in the other. We could do some alternating loops just to make sure that we have, you know, options for people. So maybe that is what we'll do. We'll have sort of a loop go maybe up this way. I think having some bus stops on the edges is good for future proofing, I think. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's going to be good. I also noticed that if I only have bus stops on the outside, I think we're just about covering the middle of town. So I think we can actually get away with bus stops only around the edges. But I think in this case, I'm going to bring one into the middle, or at least a little bit further into the middle here. We'll bring this one to about here. We're kind of missing this part of town though, which I don't love. So you know what? We'll bring this to here and we'll just build ourselves a new section of road to connect this all together so we can just get a really good looking loop around here. We'll just go from here to there with a regular old road. And that should be fine. That should be more than enough. Basically, the inverse will just be literally going in the opposite direction. So you have options, right? You can go, you know, clockwise, counterclockwise. You can get off of one and get onto the other if you want. I don't know why you do that because it's just going to take you back to where you came from, but you have options. And I think that's good. And just so my new buses don't get stuck in way too much traffic, we're going to get 8 of this this good old bendy bus right here from this road depot that I've just built in Shrewsbury itself. We're going to look at lines we can see here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of those are going to go on Shrewsbury loop number 1, the other 4 on loop number 2, and hopefully that's going to help to move people around Shrewsbury just a little bit. Now, I will say we will want to go in here and add more passenger platforms. So I'm going to do that right now. I don't know that we're going to need 2 more, but I like symmetry. So that's why we're doing the things what we do around here. We'll also get a nice large passenger building, maybe some small ones there as well, just for some decoration. A little bit of decoration never hurt anybody when it comes to bus stations. It does look pretty cool. I do like it. I'm excited to see it sort of come together. And I think these guys, we'll put you in Terminal 1, we'll put you on Terminal 2. So they're both over on the side there, and we'll see if people use it. Now, what I would like to do is come over to Birmingham. And I do think Birmingham is probably going to have a little bit more of a traditional sort of bus, not traditional maybe, but this whole like point A to point B kind of bus line setup that we've been doing, where we'll have a little station up this way, for example, and it's going to go, you know, around this top part of town and then another line around the bottom part of town. I think that's just the easiest way to do it. So first off, this road is, oh, do I want to take this road over? I actually kind of do. And I think I'm going to. Because what I could do with this road is I can put a bus and tram stop on it. It does connect to the train station, which is beautiful. We can do two platforms on the left, one on the right. That way we have room for 2 loops and then 1 connecting to Shrewsbury. And the other reason I want to take this road over is because I can set it as a bus road, and that way no other traffic's going to be coming up here and bothering me. I didn't want to get rid of the entire thing there, but we'll do something like this. In fact, maybe we'll try and just level it out a little bit so that the terrain is doing whatever in this space. I don't imagine this is going to be amazing for traffic flow, but I think it'll help my buses a little bit, which is kind of what I'm looking for. I don't love the cliff that we've created in here, but I think, again, that should be fine. All we need to do is make this mine and make it a bus road, and maybe turn off traffic lights here, just because I have my doubts that we'll need those. So then when it comes to Birmingham itself, we have 1 loop going around here, which is fine. I think what we'll do is say it's going to start here at Birmingham Branch. We're going to take out the rest of these stops for a second, and it's going to mess with the loop a little bit, but that's okay. So it goes from Birmingham Branch. I want to take out this stop, and this stop. I want to take out these guys as well. And I think that's all the passenger stops in Birmingham, which is good. I think this road could go away. To be completely honest, I don't think we needed it. I want to say this road could probably go away as well, and this one. And then what we can do is just reconnect that with a road that does something like that, basically. So it's just a straight shot up there. I think that's a little bit neater. I think all of this can kind of go away as well. This is a relatively main connection here. I think we'll leave it be. Although, if I was to take out those roads, and then if I was to upgrade this entire stretch of road, can I go in here with like a curved road that goes around like that? That looks so much better. Yeah, that looks so much. I like that. It's a little bit unnecessary, but I do like that. I think it's pretty cool. So when it comes to our bus stops coming out of the Birmingham branch right here, I want to go, I want some good coverage. That's kind of important to me. So let's go. Oh, how do we want to do this? I think we go here. I think we go here. This seems like it's covering a decent amount of sort of upper Birmingham. We're not covering the middle though. So this line might actually not loop back on itself exactly. It might just sort of loop around the middle-ish part of Birmingham here. So we'll come down here. I think we'll go into like this middle part and we'll just come back to the station and it will just sort of loop around. It'll still cover the majority of this northern part of Birmingham. It's just going to be a bit of a different line to what I planned or what I expected it would be. And there we go. We have a bunch of buses coming out for Birmingham Loop number 2 that goes around this lower part of town and already has a bunch of passengers waiting for it, but I think they're sort of left over from some of the previous stops that I got rid of. So that should be totally fine. What I would like to do is just go down here and I want to add a waypoint here and I want to add a waypoint here. Because now I want my connection from Birmingham branch up this way down to Shrewsbury Annex, and it'll be road passengers. It'll be Birmingham. That's a pop-up that I don't need right now, but okay. Birmingham, I guess, / Shrewsbury, and that'll be totally fine. We'll go ahead and make that, I guess, sort of a, I don't know, that color seems pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I think that kind of works out. It is already using that lower road, which is what I wanted it to do. I'm slightly tempted to send the Birmingham line right down here to avoid this main road completely, but I think we'll be all right. I think we can get away with not doing that. And then in terms of the buses, we'll just use maybe 3 of these guys for the time being and put them on the Birmingham Shrewsbury line. And hopefully that's going to get people sort of going back and forth via public transport, and that's going to take them away from this roundabout, which is very, very busy. And I would imagine if this gets to be super efficient, we're going to just see more of this, basically. Whole bunch of traffic still sitting around this intersection. All right, so another little thing that I've just done off camera, because it's kind of a repeat of what we've already done, is go ahead and set up a bus line around Cardiff, and it connects over to Bristol as well with a loop that goes, or a line that goes back and forth. We also have a loop around Bristol, bit of a weird line. It sort of goes out and comes back on the same path instead of just looping around. I figured we might as well try it out and see if that works for Bristol. Probably easy enough to expand if and when we need to, but for now, that's just to get people moving around. And more importantly, it'll hopefully reduce a little bit of the traffic that might want to go back and forth from Bristol to Cardiff, if that's a thing that they decide they want to do. Now, what I'm wondering is whether or not we should set up a line that goes from Bristol to Shrewsbury or Bristol to Birmingham or both. We could absolutely do that. It probably wouldn't hurt too much to do that. And it probably wouldn't be the worst idea to connect Bristol to Oxford as well. But I feel like I'm spending forever already on public transport, and I have mentioned that I would like to avoid spending too much time on public transport, especially since we're not making as much money as we have been. So what I would like to do is look at bringing tools into Exeter and Plymouth. I want to get machines into Plymouth and Bournemouth and Bristol. We could get tools into Cardiff and Swansea. We have some options here for how we can improve things. And so I would like to explore those options just a little bit. We're also using some very old trucks down here to make this all happen. So the thing to keep in mind here is that all of these tools or all of these planks are going to make tools right now. That is the purpose of these planks, and the trucks are, at the very least, getting stuck in traffic quite routinely because there's a lot of traffic trying to get through here. For what reason, I don't quite know. So I think what I'm going to do is bring this road back a little bit, bring this road out a little bit, and bring this road all the way back. And then I would like to build a roundabout in here. So right about there, we're going to just slap a roundabout down, and we're going to just sort of try to improve some of this traffic so that we can hopefully expand the industries in this particular neck of the woods. So we'll run a road straight through here, and that'll give us some connections to play with for the rest of this. I think this guy, I mean, it's already a 4-lane road down here, so we'll just upgrade the entire thing, and we'll bring this out just a smidge, and then connect it over a little something like this, and that should be fine. It's not a perfect road, but that's all right. This guy is going to come around and connect over like this, and we'll upgrade it to have a little bit more capacity in all of this space. Honestly, I don't know that we need this to be a 4-lane road the entire way through there, but it's going to be just to make sure that things are okay. And then for all of this, we'll come straight through here. This road is going to have to come back a little bit, and we're just going to bring it down, I want to say to about that spot, and we'll just curve it around a little something like that. And that'll probably be fine. I don't know that we need to do much in the way of upgrading all of this, although if we can, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a few more lanes in there, I suppose. So we'll bring this all back. We'll bring this straight through, and we'll get ourselves another nice little curve going, something like this. And again, that might help a little bit. This roundabout might help a little bit. It might not. It might do absolutely nothing for us. It's definitely possible. I've seen it before with my own eyes, but we'll give it a chance, and we'll see how that goes, and we'll just generally hope for the best. I would be interested to see if maybe it would be an idea to go for more lanes here, because if I put a 6-lane road there, we end up with one dedicated turning lane off of the roundabout itself, which honestly would be great. It really, really would, because otherwise traffic, I don't think they're going to use the roundabout properly. Unfortunately, I don't think actually, hold on a minute. That actually works perfectly. Hold on a second. We might be able to do that. Just having the 3 lanes in, the 2 out, that actually works exactly how I would want it to, which is kind of fantastic. Oh yeah, one lane coming off the right. Yeah, that is 100% what we're doing right there. That should hopefully put us in a pretty good spot. 1 lane to get off, 2 still going around. That's what I like about this mod, man. We're gonna see how that roundabout turns out. I realize I'm throwing all of the traffic from this area at one roundabout now instead of having them sort of filter onto a road, but we'll see how that goes. The point being, what I was trying to get to here was to see how exactly this is doing. So all of the consumers from this factory are getting 100% of what they need, which is great. We do have some slight traffic problems in here, which is not particularly great, but that's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably all right. I don't think we need to worry too much about that. It will filter through. This will hopefully all filter through as well. This might need to be a roundabout at some stage, but honestly, well, actually, this road could bridge over this one if I wanted it to, because this little road connects into that same place that these guys are going. Do I want to do that? Do we have room for a bridge? We kind of do. This is all out. Oh, we're doing a bridge. we're doing a bridge is what we're doing. So this is all going to come back to about there, I think. In fact, this entire stretch of road can sort of come out for a second. I do need to keep that connection so I remember where I'm going. But I think what we do is we get a slightly larger brush. We bring this terrain right through to here and bring it straight across that road. I don't know if that's going to be enough. We should be able to bridge over that. I think that should be doable. If I go in here now with this stretch of road, that's not a bridge. I mean, we're auto saving, so that might be why it's not a bridge. Oh no, that's not why it's not a bridge. Can I get you to be a bridge? That seems a little low, but I might go with it. If we go for you, I don't like that. If we go with you, I don't like that. And we can't get you to, okay, we're going to go with this guy. I do like that red bridge, so I'm kind of okay with that. We'll take this out. We will bring this around. And then very simply, this guy is going to go over this way, and somehow, some way, it is going to connect over there. Now, I don't want that to be a bridge. I realize, I realize the terrain might need to be smoothed out and lowered just a little bit around here, because I think I might have overdone it in a couple of places. And there we go. Hopefully this is good and not a terrible, terrible thing that I've just done. Now, what I would like to do is come in here and look at all of these lines, because the rate on this guy is 259. This is the planks to tools line. If we swap these guys out for, I mean, realistically, we're going to be using this guy. It goes up to 339. I think I'm okay with that, to be totally honest. Brighton tools to city is however the next line we need to look at. Rate 25. So what does Brighton want right now? 34. Okay, so if we manage those vehicles and we swap them out for this guy, that gives us 35, which is fine. We probably need a better distribution system in Brighton, but that's all right for now. 185 for Cambridge. Cambridge wants 57. Wait, what? Okay, we're doing. Wait, where's that? Wait, what is this line? Oh, this is Cambridge. Wait, this is Canterbury. Never mind. I got really confused there. Cambridge wants 173. So in theory, we have 20 vehicles in this. Swap them out for you. Gives us 262. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these can maybe be sold. That gives us 198. So it's still future proofed a little bit, which is good. Canterbury is 64. Demand is 57. So that's all right. We can probably swap these guys out and maybe get rid of one. That gives us 90. Sell one of them gives us 66. That's fine. And then Ipswich is a rate of 111 with a demand of 116. So swapping these guys out gives us 157. Let's try selling 2 of those trucks to bring that down to 135. We could probably get rid of 2 more, but I think we are good. So that'll reduce traffic just a little bit. This line's 339 is probably fine, especially since some of these tools are going to start going elsewhere. I do think we probably want to look into this entire situation. Although this guy is making 800 logs right now. You guys have a rate of 907. That's going to go up. How old is this vehicle? 47 years. So not as bad as some of them, but yeah, that's 10 million to upgrade those guys. Gives us a rate now of 1,185. So let's grab, say, 5 of these guys. Let's sell them. That brings us down to 948. Let's sell another 2. 855. Let's sell another 1. 807. That's about perfect. So a little bit less traffic on the roads, still moving everything that we need to be moving. That is about what we're looking for, which is totally fine. Now, the thing to keep in mind is we do want to start bringing these planks down to make machines, and that's a really long way to go. I'm actually kind of debating whether or not I should use trains for this. I'm strongly considering it. I'm also considering moving these planks up here by train into this facility, although 17,000, almost 18,000 planks are already there. So I think the planks, even if the traffic's not doing fine, the factory in terms of planks is doing just fine. So I guess before we touch on the machines thing, we'll do the tools thing because we're already making those. Now, Bournemouth has demand for tools right in here. So this little exchange is going to be perfect for that. We'll set up a line that comes down and deals with that shortly. Exeter, on the other hand, has a much sort of more spread out demand for tools in here. So I think what we're going to do is just use an unload stop, say here. I think an unload stop right about there. And I'm going to say an unload stop right down here is going to be everything we need to make this work. I think this connection can go away. And then what we'll do is run a little road up to that road from down here. So a little something like this. It does go into a tunnel, but honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. I do like a tunnel. And then we'll come off of this spot, I think, in a nice sort of straight line if we can get it to work, which we totally can. And we'll just connect that into to what we had here already. And that should be fine. That should be more than enough for what we want to do around here. Something like this. It's not the best looking road. I don't love carving out all that terrain, but again, as we've done many a time, we can hide some crimes and everything should be all right. So that's going to give us a nice little spread of tools going into Exeter. Plymouth as well is going to want tools. What is the, the distribution down here is pretty good as well. Let's go here. Let's go say here. And then what we'll do is get a little street that just goes from this guy to there. And that should be totally fine. That'll give us a little loop to go around. We could also connect this lower road if we wanted to, which I'm not really against doing. I'm probably going to want to upgrade a lot of these roads actually to be paved for one, because a lot of them are obviously still dirt roads, which isn't really ideal. But we'll do something like this. Do we need that bridge? Oh, no. Oh, no. That's horrendous looking. That is really not good looking. What we'll do then is something like this. Let's try this. Gives us a big old tunnel, which I'm kind of here for, man. I like I said, I enjoy a tunnel. All right, so with all of those truck stops in place, I've gone ahead and built a new truck depot station thing here by the tools factory, because I figure that putting more vehicles into this one would be a bad idea. So what we're going to do is set up a new line that's going to go from in here. We'll say platform number 1, and it's going to go all the way out towards Bournemouth. And that's going to be line number 1 for this whole thing. So it's going to be road cargo. It is Bournemouth. And it will be, I guess, tools to city is what we're going to go for on that. And we'll make this we'll go for a green line on this one. I do think we have some green lines in this area already though. So maybe actually a blue line would be the better pick for this one. And then we'll have the pink line coming down for Exeter and an orange line going down to Plymouth. And that should keep us pretty good is what I'm thinking. Now, the way I would like to do this is I'd like to build a road depot here in Plymouth itself. So I think it's going to live right out there. The demand for tools in Plymouth is 80, which is going to mean that we probably need a lot of trucks for this. But we'll get one for now. We'll paint it that sort of orange color that we used for the line, and then we'll assign it to the tools to city line. So if we need this rate to be 80, we actually don't need too many of these vehicles, which is great. So we'll just go ahead and duplicate. We will duplicate, and that gives us, with 4 of them, it gives us 26. Okay, we're going to need a few of them, but that's fine. We're going to go up to, I would assume 53. That's all right. I'm thinking 2 more is maybe going to be enough. It's 66, maybe not, maybe another 2 more is going to be enough. That gives us 79. Okay. You know what? Give me 3 more. So we round it out at 15, and that'll give us a little bit of future proofing for this entire thing. Honestly, 15 vehicles for a line this long is not too bad, so I can't really complain that much about it. We'll get another road depot up this way in Exeter, which has a demand of 84. So if we have a look in here, we're going to buy, I'm going to take a guess at 10 of these is what I'm going to guess. And that's going to be the pink line. And we're going to say road, so tools to Exeter. We needed, what was it? It was 84. We managed to get 83. It was so close. Okay. A little bit of future proofing. We'll put 2 more on that just to make sure that we can always bring down enough tools. A flat 100 is pretty good for a rate right there. And then Bournemouth already has a road depot. So Bournemouth's demand is not going to be as high. It's only 16. So I'm going to say that we might only need, I want to say 2 of these guys. We'll make them blue. We'll put them on tools to city. And that gives us a rate of 28. Okay, so one of them was nearly enough. That's not so bad though. That gives us 3 new lines coming down here. That should give us some tools production in here at some point or another. This guy should have all of those places. Exeter is listed as a consumer already. So eventually this guy will start producing enough to supply all of those places, which is good. Traffic around this roundabout is actually not terrible. Although traffic here is not great, but it's not terrible. Now, interestingly, according to the Brighton sawmill, we are not shipping 100% of what we're producing for the Brighton Tools factory. We're shipping 381, which is, yeah, less than we're moving here. So let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys. Let me get a few more vehicles for this line. Again, we've made some infrastructure changes, so it might take a while for the roads to sort of support all the trucks, but we'll see if 5 more vehicles is a good idea for this entire thing. I'm also debating whether or not I should move this down here. I feel like it might not be the worst idea in the world to move, just get rid of like the 4-way intersection here. It's not really needed. Very, very tempted to do that. Definitely tempted to do that. We also don't have any other sawmills nearby, do we? Because I did still want to make the machines down here, but it doesn't look like we do, which is really, really unfortunate. Yeah. So we're kind of just dealing with this one down here. That'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Do we have tools in here? We absolutely do. Do we have consumers listed in here? Exeter, Brighton, Plymouth, they're all listed. Okay, I think Brighton was already there. Bournemouth was the new one, but we're doing all right. We have the demand listed. We should be able to make enough. We're hopefully going to see a few more planks come over this way. So hopefully this is all going to work out. I don't love how busy this road is looking here. So you know what? I think it might be worthwhile to make some upgrades. I think this entire stretch of road here could maybe use more lanes. I don't know if we needed those extra lanes, but it's what we're doing. This can be upgraded. This can be upgraded. I really don't think we need to do it that way. I think we can do it this way. I think asymmetry on this road would be totally fine. I think asymmetry here would also be totally fine. And I think asymmetry here would be totally fine. And this guy can go back to being slightly smaller. I don't think we need to go all out with a full, 4-lane road the entire way across here. I think some dedicated turning lanes will probably sort us out quite nicely. Oh, there we go. We have our first trucks arriving, which is very exciting. Quite a decent little bit of cargo in here as well. This guy's also looking to upgrade, which is very good news for, well, this factory and also the sawmill that we have going on as well. So all good things in here. And I suppose that's probably fine. The only thing I'm wondering is, since we need planks for the machines factory, is this guy going to hold up all right? I mean, realistically, it is 2-to-1 on this. So the most we can ever make from this factory is going to be 400 with 1 forest supplying the logs. So if we did want to have this guy supply the machines factory, we would need to be bringing some logs over from Exeter Forest, or bringing them from, say, up by Cambridge, which honestly might not be the worst idea because we are going to be putting more traffic on these roads if we're not careful. So, well, in saying that, there's a lot of traffic having trouble getting into London or getting around London. So maybe Cambridge wouldn't be the best bet. I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about what way to do this. I do think it would probably make sense to bring the logs or the planks down to this place by train, though. So maybe, I don't know, the same train that brings the planks down here could bring the logs over here. So the train's kind of running cargo back and forth in a pretty good way. That might not be the worst idea in the world. It really, really might not be a terrible idea at all. We could use a train to bring stuff down from Bristol and from the coal mine as well to the steel mill. But I'm not 100% sure. And I am trying to, we've talked about this before. I'm trying to make the episodes just a little bit shorter, not super short, but just a little bit shorter. So on one hand, it feels like we've not done too much today, but we've made some changes. We've made some improvements here and there. Traffic is flowing, around the roundabout. It's, it's busy, but it's not super busy. We've definitely made the public transport lines in Birmingham a bit better. Shrewsbury didn't have any, so that's a massive improvement, which is fantastic. And people are going back and forth, which is good. I would like to do something about this. I'm really not too sure what that something would be, other than maybe using a train line to bring the planks over from here. That really might just be the best thing we could do. In fact, I kind of want to see if we could do that. I also do need to improve the good old, oh, what is this? What are you all doing? Where are you going? That's Manchester Steel. That's the steel line. Oh, it's going out and around now, isn't it? Oh, that explains a lot. Okay. those, yeah, Manchester needs some improvements as well. Yeah, I think a train line in here might actually be really good for us. I was going to wrap things up, but I'm very tempted to do this train line now, because what it'll do is it'll take like a lot of these guys. This is machines to city. That's fine. It's not moving anything. Planks to machines. This line in particular is where a lot of this traffic is coming from. There are 70 vehicles on that line. If we were to get rid of those and replace it with a train line, it would take 70 vehicles off of our roads, which could be admittedly kind of huge. So I think I'm going to do something kind of silly, and I think I'm going to do something that's kind of dumb, and it's going to be super inefficient for getting fast trains in here. But what I'm going to do, oh, I love these stations. What I'm going to do is build some train lines that run perfectly parallel to these roads. And that means that it's probably going to follow sort of the same tunnel and everything else that we have going on here. I'm hoping I can connect this together in a way that sort of makes sense. So bring this around. It's not exactly perfectly against the road, but it's about as good as. I just think this is going to look cool. I just think this is going to look interesting. And that's kind of where I'm at, is you know, we can make this efficient. We can make this good. We can make it, you know, have enough trains on this line that it's going to be fine. I just think it's going to look really cool having a big old cargo train line running alongside these roads. So we'll go to about there, and that'll be all right. We'll run this to the end here, and we'll come down this way and run this guy parallel to this guy. And then I should be able to just run this entire second section of track to there, which is fine. This, I don't quite know how I'm going to connect yet. I don't really know what this is going to look like. I do know that this, hold on, logs to planks. So we still need a logs to planks line. We don't need the planks to machines line. So let me manage these vehicles, select all of them. I want to look at this cluster of vehicles when I sell them, because yeah, most of them are gone now. That is kind of wild. So what we'll do now is planks to machines. We're just going to delete that line, because we don't need it anymore. And we're going to bulldoze this guy, because we don't need that anymore either. And then what we can do is come in here with just a very, very simple little section of road. I don't quite know where it needs to go. I wish I could go parallel with buildings. That would be very, very cool to do. But essentially this is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll have a little road here, and then hopefully I can just go in and say, give me a truck station, give me 2 platforms, just sort of either side of it should be fine. Give me 30 meters, and we'll just put it there. And that's apparently not close enough to everything to automatically take. Oh wait, did it take over? It did not. So this guy is now going to be going here, and is now going to be dropping off at both of those platforms, which is totally fine. That should keep the logs going. And then I guess for trains, I'm going to take out this road. Just all of these roads can go for now, actually, because I think we're going to need a lot of space for whatever kind of monstrosity I'm about to build is basically where I'm at. So let me flatten this terrain. I want a slightly larger brush. We're going to just flatten this all out as best we possibly can so that we have a nice pad to work with. We're going to need a nice sort of long train station as well. So as much space as I can reasonably get is going to be ideal, is how I'm looking at this. And I think we're going to bring just a little section of road out here, a little section of road right down to, I want to say about here, and we're going to bring this sort of through to about here. And then in that corner is where I want to build my cargo terminus station, 320 meters, high-speed tracks, 2 tracks. Basically here is where I want this to go. In fact, I wonder, could I connect these roads together? Can I get you to go up there? Does that look okay? I don't know that I love it. I'm really not too sure that I love that. How do I want this connection to work then? I think we can get away with this. Although I'm also wondering if I move it back a little bit, I could probably put some buildings on the sides of this thing so it looks a little bit more built up, which could be kind of cool. So we'll try here, and we'll go to configure. We'll go to cargo buildings. I'm not going to get large ones in here, but can I get the medium ones? Yeah, we can get the medium buildings in here. I think that kind of works. We'll do a medium building here. We'll do a medium building here. We'll do a bunch of the medium side buildings. We'll 1, 2, 3 of them. And we'll do 1, 2, and 3 of them here. We'll do another medium sort of main building at either side. And then maybe just fill the rest of the space in with the side buildings, just so we have something here. In fact, that middle one can go away. We can do another main building. In fact, no, it can't, because that's not symmetrical. So we'll just do the side buildings. I think that looks fine. It's a bit weird, but it's okay. I think we can work with that. We'll do some of these guys as well, just to have something around there. And sure, that's totally fine. Let me bring let me flatten out some terrain here just to make sure I can put a little road down the side of this thing, I guess, because apparently that's something we're doing now. Maybe even this road could sort of come out a little bit, and we'll just sort of level it out as well. Again, just I want something that looks not imposing. Imposing is definitely not the right word, but interesting is, I think, the right word for what I'm trying to do here. I want something that just looks a bit interesting. So we'll do this connection here. We don't actually need this road connection. It's not going to get used for anything, but I think it's okay. It, again, sort of gives us a footprint for this whole thing that's pretty good. Kind of like what I've done with the airports, basically. It gives us a nice footprint to work with here. We'll bring this all back, and then I'm wondering, can I just do this? Yeah, I think that works. That's not in the way of the train line, which is great. We'll hit that with a smoothing brush just to tidy things up a little bit. And then I do kind of want to see the tracks do their thing. I do. I kind of want to see the tracks actually get used. I want to see the trains do their thing is probably what I meant to say there. So we are going to bring this out and then some way, somehow connect it to here, basically. And that honestly looks fine. I think I'm all right with that. I do want to carve away the terrain because, again, I want to see the trains actually coming and going. So that's going to be where our tracks are. And then somehow I need to build bridges to reconnect all these roads. And that's going to be a fun task is what that's going to be. So we'll bring this back to about here. This road I am hoping is just going to work. It does not. Can I maybe just, oh, I can do that. I'm actually kind of okay with that. I actually don't mind that either. I don't love that. And I definitely don't love that because it's way too low. I think we're just going to go with this and deal with the fact that it doesn't look perfect, but it probably doesn't need to. Okay, so this is our new station. We have a line set up to take planks from here to be turned into machines. We just need to get ourselves a train that's going to be good for this. So let's go to this new train depot. Let's see what we can get our hands on. I want to say maybe diesel. I mean, ultimately, we're only going as fast as the wagons themselves can go, which is 75 miles per hour. So we don't need to go too crazy here. We could go for, I mean, this one would be perfectly fine. Top speed is 75. It's not as powerful as this guy, which is interesting. Do we want something with a ton of power? We might, honestly, because we are going to be going around some weird corners and up hills and things like that. So I think I'm going to try an electric train just to see how it goes and see if it actually sort of compensates for the fact that the train's never going to get up to full speed, but it can accelerate quickly. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. I also think we'll go ahead and paint this thing. I mean, I don't know what part of it gets painted. Let's have a very quick look at the bottom part. So let's go for a dark red, a little bit sort of more saturated than the default one, should be fine. And then the cargo, I mean, it's just planks. So we'll go for, I'm just going to go for like a gray, I think. And capacity wise, I mean, the station is like 320 meters long. So we can go to about 208 capacity. 45 million for this is a lot of money, but that should be okay. We'll put that in Sheffield Planks Machines and hope for the best. I think this is a long station as well. So I'm hoping for the best on this one. I'm also realizing this is the Machines to Newcastle and Edinburgh train. It is 64 years old. Let me just upgrade these guys as well, because they're doing terribly. They are capacity 200, length 264. We can do better than that. So let's use a diesel locomotive. That seems fine. And then cargo wise, I mean, we had a capacity of 200. If we wanted to do that again, We're looking at 208 for a shorter train. We could go 221 and still be shorter. So I think we're going to replace both of those and then paint them in sort of that same sort of steely blue color. And that just seems a little bit better. That seems like a worthwhile upgrade. We've also gotten rid of most of the traffic on this road, so hopefully traffic can now start to filter through a little bit. This road is certainly going to be a little bit less busy, which is only going to be good for us. So here's hoping for good things. We do have the new train coming out here, which I love to see. I'm so excited to see this thing going alongside the roads. I know it's kind of dumb, but I'm so excited to see this train line get used. And also, because I forgot to check, the rate is 476, which is kind of fantastic. This guy is producing more than that, but we'll figure it out. We'll balance things is what we're going to do. We do have the ability to put multiple trains on this line, so everything should be okay. Oh, this looks kind of cool. I like this a lot. I love that we have this new train line. I know it took me a while to get going with putting bridges over things, and I had a lot of level crossings early on, but this is taking me back to what I've always said is one of my favorite things with Cities Skylines. Back when we played that, it was always like, man, why don't you do more subways? Why don't you put stuff underground? I do from time to time, but I like seeing stuff move around. Like, you know, we've said a bunch of times today, I love a good tunnel, but I do like seeing stuff move around. It's very, very cool. I'm also hoping, what have we got? 208 is the capacity here, 155. I have said that this train should wait here until it has a full load of planks. Honestly, that shouldn't take too long. We were at like 160 right there, so it's going to be more than halfway full once it gets everything on board. Yeah, really not much more to go right there. This guy has a few logs in storage. We have a bunch of them coming through here. We actually have some old trucks doing this as well, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go into this line, manage vehicles, swap these guys out for something that might be a little bit better, which gives us a rate of 1197, which we don't need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those are going to be sold. That brings us down to 1014. 1, 2, 3 of those can be sold, which brings us down to 923. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can be sold, which brings us down to 772. Okay, let's put 2 more back in there just to make sure that we're good. 834 is going to be enough. We can only get 800 logs from a forest, so we only need a rate of 800 on that line, and that should keep us pretty good. Are we okay with traffic going into Grimsby? Oh wait, no, we're going here. Yeah, we're fine. We're totally fine. Oh, there we go. It's heading out with a whole bunch of planks. That is just perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. It's 208 planks heading over to the machines factory without any traffic. And I mean, this is starting to clear out as well. It's still pretty bad in well, both directions on this part of the road, but this part is looking just fine now, which is what we're looking for. I also made some changes to the machines, or the steel to machines line coming out of Manchester. I changed some of these roads and I've got them now going sort of in this way and then out and around the one-way system, so that we avoid getting stuck on this major road over this way, which means that hopefully we're, 678 is the rate on this line now versus this guy at 307. So we're able to move twice the amount of steel, which is, we're going to need to upgrade that as well. But that maybe is something we can do in the next episode, because this right here, this looks so good. I love this so much. I mean, it's slow. It's not really much faster than the cars, but it looks really cool. And I mean, that's why I did it. I knew it wasn't going to be a fast train. I knew this was going to be painfully slow, but it looks very cool. It really does. I love this so much. I really, really do. And I'm really curious to see how much money it makes as well. Because all things considered, we're probably losing money now. I've spent a lot on upgraded vehicles, but I haven't done all that much to upgrade my infrastructure. So hopefully this guy is going to be, ooh. Oh, it is 1990 now. So we got a towboat. We got another towboat. We got the Merlin. We've got a 40-ton truck with side stakes, a tanker truck, a tarpaulin. Oh my God, we got some better trucks now. That's kind of exciting. Very, very keen to play with that. We're looking at a grand total of 3.7 million for this guy. That's all things considered, that's not bad. I don't know if that's going to be a super profitable line in the long term. I really don't, but that's not bad. That makes me quite happy. That does. That definitely makes me quite happy. I'm also very curious to see what we can do with those 40-ton trucks, but I think for now, well, I think we might be good for now. Also, my frames seem to, like, the game seems to be stuttering ever since we unlocked all those vehicles. I think it's sort of good now. No, it's still doing it. I know this game, like, just gets, performance-wise, it gets much worse as you go along and build stuff, but man, I really hope that's, like, not a thing in Transport Fever 3. I hope they can kind of work out some. I know it's a thing with, like, every city builder type and management game. I know it's a thing. It's whatever. It just happens, but I feel like that's also, like, one of the biggest hurdles that people have for some of these games is, like, performance on them can be a little rough sometimes. Especially, I mean, this game, it's a decent looking game, but it's not the best looking game ever. I don't know. It's not a graphical thing. Most likely it is most likely going to be a processing thing. So it's whatever. I don't know much about, like, I know a decent bit about computers, but every computer I've ever had, especially with this job, I've always, like, I got a couple of people that I'll DM and be like, hey, what's the, because I don't upgrade my computer that much. I realize I'm ranting and raving right as I was about to wrap things up. We are going to get there, but I don't upgrade my computers all that often, because what I usually do is I just, whenever it comes around to an upgrade, like, I'll give it a couple of years and be like, what is the best computer I can buy right now? What is the best graphics card, processor, RAM, motherboard, whatever? I want to put all that in one system, spend a stupid amount of money, and then not have to worry about it for a while. I know, like, that's one of the perks of computers is the whole, like, you can upgrade it. And I do sometimes. I know how to install a graphics card or change out a processor or whatever, but I just, when it comes to getting a whole new computer, I don't know where to begin. So I just DM people and I'm like, hey, what's the best computer money can buy right now? And then they'll be like, it's this one. And I'll be like, okay, what's the second best computer money can buy right now? That's usually how that goes. But anyway, yeah, I just, that's all that aside. Yeah, we're going to leave it there for today. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.